everyone, hope you're doing good. So today I am going to be doing this week's garden tour, and if you've already been here, you may have noticed that I cut my bangs. I just did it this morning, so if they start doing anything crazy, just ignore it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so first we're going to start with the berries and the fruit trees, and then we'll move on to the raised beds. So here are the berries, and they're really starting to take off. What do we have here? This is Chester thornless blackberry. These are really going crazy since the last time we were over here. Then what is this? This is another blackberry. Might need to check on that one and see if it needs to be potted down a little deeper. Hascap berries. I still need to weed it, but here's the hascap berries. That's a mulberry tree. You can see the green down there at the stem. It's starting to come back. I probably need to come through and trim quite a few of these. I've not done that yet. And then here's a blueberry. So this is a Toro blueberry. These are raspberries. I believe I have 4 raspberries and 4 blackberries. Yep, here's a raspberry. This one's a blackberry. Triple crown thornless blackberry. So that's a different type. I'll have one type of raspberry, the heritage raspberries, and then 2 types of the blackberries. So this is John's elderberry. These have really taken off since last week. I don't think that there was half of this much greenery out here. What is this one? I'm not sure if this one's a mulberry or an elderberry. It looks like my tag is going, oh no, there's ants in there. Scrambling now. Okay. And here's another hascap berry. This one's looking really good as well. Blueberry. Another blueberry. This one is a blue jay blueberry, so I have 2 types of blueberries as well. The Toro and the blue jay. These are the pawpaw trees. Are they coming back? Yeah, I think so. It looks like there's some little buds on the stem here. We shall see. I'm not terribly concerned about those though. Who's this one? Okay, so this is the elderberry. So that one over there is a mulberry. Let me move this one out into the sun. It doesn't look so hot. Alright, we'll see if that bounces back. It looks like the vast majority of everything has come back. So these came in really tiny pots, and I potted them up in compost into these bigger pots that I just had laying around and left them outside, just like this, except under an overhang. I moved them out into the sun when it started warming up. Okay, we'll move on to the fruit trees and get an update on that. Okay, so we're over here at the apple and the cherry tree, or at least one of the apple trees. And the apple tree has now gone to flower as well. Look at all of those leaves. The last time that we were over here, it was pretty much still bare. And then the cherry tree is in full bloom. Kind of hard to tell, but there's lots of little white flowers on both trees. And also these trees here that are lining the fence, they smell so good. I'm not exactly sure what they are. I'll have to do like a plant identifier app and see if I can find out. Let me get a close up. Maybe somebody here can tell me. Alright, so this is what the new growth looks like. And the older. And it has like a bunching trunk. It's a lot like a crepe myrtle, but it's not. And when it goes to flower, it puts out these little buds here. And they smell so sweet. Okay, so that was all of the fruit stuff that we're going to go over. I have another apple tree on the other side of the yard, but it looks pretty much just like this one, except a little bit bigger. So now for the raised beds. Okay, I usually start at the end closest to the house, but we're further from the house this time. And look at this sage plant. Everything is just busting out. And this is broadleaf sage. All of the sage out here that I have is broadleaf sage right now. I'm hoping to have a couple of other kinds out here by the end of the season. And then lavender. There's some purple dead nettle stuck in there too. That's all over the place. It reseeds really easily. Here's another sage. I wasn't sure that this one was going to come back, but look at it go. I guess I probably need to come back and cut off a little more of the dead sticks here. That's snapping off and it still has new growth on here. That's pretty surprising. And then this was a thyme plant that I was supposed to trim, but I did not. It still is mostly sticks, and it has a little bit of new growth on the end. And we'll compare it to the ones on the other end of the beds to see what the difference is between trimmed and not trimmed. And then here's another one in this bed that I did not trim. Lots of new growth on the ends, but there's lots of dead growth. So it's not too late for me to do that. I'll probably still come back. But let me see. So like in here, you've got places where there's new growth. So I mean, technically you could leave all the sticks and stuff, I suppose. But it seems like it's going to make it harder for it to have like a big healthy plant. Alright, and another sage. I know that it said something about digging this one up, but it looks like it's pretty happy here now. So I'll probably just leave most everything here. Unless it looks happy even after we've got into springtime. So look at the dead growth on here. That stuff got burnt up. I don't know what happened there, but I need to come and trim that off. Other than that, this plant looks really good. It's a nice looking rosemary. And that's the last of the stuff that I did trim. I just didn't get this section here. So real quick in the middle, I didn't get this. So the mugwort, it's doubled in size again. This stuff grows like crazy. And then echinacea taking off. There's another one down there. And then all through here, we've got cilantro and parsley. And then purple dead nettle, of course. I thought that I might have had oregano popping up in there, but I don't think so. When that was coming up, I think that that was just the nettle that maybe had a similar look to it. But definitely no oregano in there right now. And on to the next bed, we've got a few carrots mixed in here. This one looks really nice. There might be a couple here. 1, 2, 3. A few garlic. All of this is empty. I still have not planted my beet seeds. I actually have those soaking. So I soaked those overnight, and I'm probably just going to come out here and broadcast sow them. You can come through and plant them individually every few inches, but I'm probably just going to toss them. The seeds are kind of old, and I'm not sure how they're going to do. And then here's the nettle that I trimmed. If you haven't seen that video, we've already got lots of new growth on here. So here's the other nettle that we trimmed, and it's bounced back. More garlic. These are also growing really fast now that it's warming up. And then here is the arugula. More of it's bolting. I was leaving on here and letting it go to seed. I'm not terribly interested in having to collect it. There's not that much. But I can still grab the leaves off of here. If I leave it on here and it still gets too hot, this is one of those things that can become kind of bitter. And then look at this dandelion in here. Got so many flowers on it. So dandelion is one of those things where you can use the flower, leaves, and the root, like echinacea. And here we've got either some chamomile or some carrots. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's actually carrots. Chamomile, the tendrils are a little bit further apart and more singular. Whereas the carrots, I guess you could say, maybe have like more of a fern type look to them. I don't know if that's terribly accurate. Okay, so here we've got more lavender. And here's another lavender. Both of these lavender, this will be their second year. These were both started from propagations last year, and there's another one over there that's very hard to see. And then the strawberries. The leaves are going crazy, and you can actually collect the leaves from strawberries and use them in teas and things like that. They are also edible, but for now I'm going to leave them, I think. I don't have that many strawberries here. And in this bed. So there are actually a ton of marigolds popping up in here. They're everywhere. I'm not complaining though. This is a good thing. So plenty of them can grow here, and then I'll transplant what I don't need or just pull them up. They really grow like a weed for me here now. This will be, I believe, the 5th year that I've had marigolds growing out here. So at this point, they are everywhere. Okay, and over here are lemongrass. Another thing that's practically doubled since last week. And sage. Thyme. So these were ones that were trimmed really well. And these started out looking a lot healthier than those anyway. But ever since they were trimmed, they have just really bushed out. And they're healthy, lots of new growth. So I could come through here and collect a bunch of this and go ahead and dry it from our herbs. Here's the other. And another thing about this thyme, really quickly, I just love the way that it like wants to crawl over the bed. I think it's so pretty. So down here, these are not looking as hot, but I'm sure they're going to catch up in no time. So here's another lavender or two. Some rosemary. This one might actually have to come out. This is probably the saddest one that I've seen. And then this rosemary looks very healthy. And So right here, really quickly, here's a couple of pepper plants that I had inside the house. I tried overwintering the peppers, but I neglected them a lot. So I don't think any of them are going to make it. Those were my last ditch, and they look like they're done. But anyway, we're over here, and we've got more echinacea. This is lilac. This is my first year growing lilac, but it looks like it's going to kind of have the same growing habit as like dahlias. So I might need a stake for that. And then I'll also need to come through and trim these. And I can propagate the new growth like snapdragons. More echinacea. And then more lilac. Here we've got a couple of sage. There's one and there's another. And rosemary. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this garden tour. Bye!